Welcome to Sounding Board, a production of Seroptimist International of Novato, whose mission it is to improve the lives of women and girls through programs leading to social and economic empowerment. I'm Freda Kaplan, and our guest today on Sounding Board is Warren Lager, who's from the College of Marin. He's the head coach of swimming and diving, he's a kinesiology instructor, swimming fitness instructor, and the head coach of the Marin Pirates swim team. Let's talk about the Marin Pirates, Warren. How many kids are there and where are they from?
Well, there's about, all told, there's about 250 to 300 Marin Pirates. We have a program that's down at the Scott Valley Swim and Tennis Club in Mill Valley. We have another group of swimmers at College of Marin's campus in Kentfield. And our main location is College of Marin's Indian Valley campus in Nevada. So there's a good group of folks.
And why do they come from all over the Bay Area, I understand?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'd like to think that we have a good reputation and a healthy reputation about moving kids forward in youth sports, and we've had some success in the pool, and I think we've had a little bit, an even greater amount of success in letting folks realize what kind of personal growth can be afforded through swimming. And indeed, we have folks that go to high school in San Francisco. We have folks from Petaluma and from Cotati coming down, and then all over Marin County as well.
And how do you find these swimmers for the team?
Well, through a variety of ways. We recruit some swimmers, but primarily it's word of mouth between the people who are already on the team, the families that have kids participating on the Marin Pirates. They share with other families their experience on the team, and the classmates and friends and relatives talk amongst one another, and we get folks that want to come and participate and want to learn a little bit more about swimming.
What do you need to join the team? A lot of swimming talent?
Not necessarily. In fact, not usually. The thing that I think kind of sets apart our program is that we're not looking especially for folks that have demonstrated, fast swimming or fast times as they grow up. We're looking for folks that want to fully embrace the program and want to be able to have that requisite dedication to move forward in the sport. We definitely prize the dedication over the talent. And that's not to say that we don't have talented swimmers. We've had very successful swimmers at the highest possible level. But we think the ideology of setting the requisite for participation on the team at how dedicated you want to be towards it, rather than how talented or what talent you are blessed with, keeps it healthier. And it seemed to work for us so far.
So that's what you mean by it's not how fast you go, but what is your practice?
Right. We oftentimes parents will talk about, and let me digress just slightly. We don't put attendance requirements on kids until they get into high school. There's not a real pressureful situation in terms of what the expectations are of young kids. We certainly believe in kids doing multiple sports and being able to participate in many endeavors when they're young. When they move up into the high school level swimming, we expect them to attend practice, pretty darn regularly. And but the thing that kind of sets the bar is that you want to be able to see what you can accomplish in the sport, and even more importantly, see what you can take off the pool deck with you to use those life skills in any endeavor that you participate in. And I don't think it's inappropriate even for younger kids to realize that they can learn a lot through swimming, and the same thing that makes them a good swimmer makes them a good student, and makes them good in relationship with people, and makes them makes them good at being able to apply for a job or whatever else further up the road. So all those things, those skills are what we really try and work to impart to the kids. parents are oftentimes wonder with a team like ours where we've had a lot of success if the kids are going to burn out. And we think that kids don't burn out as long as they know what the greater mission is, that it's not just about swimming fast, it's about developing their character and revealing their character and developing tools they can use outside of swimming. And I think that's what really keeps it healthy.
And how do the kids learn to balance their academics and their athletics?
Well, that's a big thing. On a certain level, competitive swimming is one of the most difficult extracurricular activities that the young person can participate in, especially as they move towards swimming in high school with an eye to being able to swim collegiately. School always comes first. But and when they move up into high school, these kids are training 18 hours a week, and that's like having another another job. But everyone in the program realizes that academics does come first, and that much of what they're doing in terms of the pool will allow them to become much better students and much more equipped and much better prepared for the rigors of college. And we really try and translate what's happening in the pool to what they're going to be doing outside the pool.
So you do say you're teaching success in the pool, success in life, and that pretty much illustrated it there.
Right,
yeah.
right.
The title of the show is Developing Skills for a Lifetime, and you've just explained to us exactly what that means.
Right.
Integrity, responsibility, commitment.
Right. I mean, all the stuff that, there's a lot of sacrifice involved in this process. And again, there's kind of a line of demarcation between the kids that are in elementary and middle school and the line of demarcation where they then have to embrace it a little bit more fully when they get to high school and when they get to college. But we try and look at swimming as like life in microcosm, that all the trials and tribulations and overcoming adversity and using success as a springboard to more success, and really figuring out how to translate what they're doing in their sport so that they really learn the value in their athletic experience. It's not just about scoring the touchdown or swimming the fast times. It's really about the process that they're going through, and that process translates into anything that they wish to participate in. So our underlying credo is swimming as a means to a greater end rather than an end unto itself. And they roll their eyes all the time because there's all of our coaches talk with the kids endlessly about having that healthy perspective about the process, that it's the journey and not the destination, until they roll their eyes. But they always come back. Eventually, they really internalize that idea, and that leads to kids being able to have the healthiest possible athletic experience instead of worrying simply about the results. And if their process is good, if their journey is good, then the results and the destination will follow. And we really pride ourselves on being able to make sure the kids understand that.
So you've got 5-year-olds learning this, and you've got all the way up.
Right. Well, you can be 5 years old and be on the team if you're a young person that can do has a toehold on doing the competitive strokes. Basically, you have to be able to do freestyle or crawl stroke with side breathing when you're 5 years old, and then we'll teach you the other competitive strokes. We'll teach you butterfly and backstroke and breaststroke. As you get older, you have to have more expertise in the competitive strokes, and then people start embracing it a little bit more as they move to the end of elementary school and move into middle school, and then they get into high school. That's when they really have to start deciding what they want to be able to do with the sport and if they're going to continue. It moves from a situation where there's not any requirements on attendance, although generally there's kids that come every day, but usually kids miss once or twice a week, and we're fine with that. Once they get into high school, we ask that they generally only miss one practice per week, and their second year on the team, they have to graduate to practicing in the morning before school, which is a whole another level of dedication. And then we help as many kids as we can translate that into a collegiate athletic experience. And we really think that it's a very, very positive thing for kids to be able to participate in athletics in college. You move into a peer group that's already very dedicated and very focused on both their academics and their athletics. It keeps people on the straight and narrow. You get to be able to get access to help with tutors. A lot of kids gain a lot of access and a lot of help in the admissions process in college based on obviously their grades, but also their swimming stature. And so all those pieces fit together, and all the way up to where right now we have 22 swimmers swimming collegiately right now. Not 22 that graduated last year, but currently on college swim teams, and we're very, very proud of that, to be able to have people come through our program and be able to move up and compete at the collegiate level and get the benefits of competing at the collegiate level and get the personal growth that's afforded by competing at the collegiate level, and that's a huge component of what we do. We want kids to be able to get that extra personal growth, but that having that a rigorous extracurricular activity will provide them.
Wow. Well, you've had one person on the Olympic team.
Yeah, we had a young man, Scott Welts, who was a member of our team and made the last Olympic team. We had 4 swimmers at the last trials. We had a young man who was 80th out of 82 people in a different event at the last Olympic trials. And in the last swim of his career, he had graduated from college, and he was swimming the mile, which is a very, very difficult race. And the summer before, he had made the mile by just tenths of a second, and we're talking about a 15-minute and 30-second race, and he made it by a couple tenths, and that was a huge celebration for us. And then in his last swim of his career at the last Olympic trials, he dropped 15 seconds, which is an unheard of amount, and went from 80th to 20th. And it's one of the prize moments I have in my coaching career to have a relationship with a young man that was able to accomplish something like that. And we had another young lady who lives right here in this neighborhood in Novato, Catherine Murphy, and she broke the sprinting records at UCLA, and she went to that was her last swim meet as well, and she improved both of her times, went best times. And we had another young lady, Liliana Alvarez from San Anselmo, and she was a swimmer from, she was at UC Davis, and she was swimming at the Olympic trials with us as well. And she swam great as well. So it's fun. The Olympic trial thing is kind of the icing on the cake. And we had some pretty good icing last go around.
I should say so. And they should be very proud, and you folks too.
Yeah, no question.
What are some of the other wins that you've had?
Well, let's see. We have one swimmer who's qualified for this next upcoming Olympic trial, and I think we have a couple more kids on the team that are within striking distance. There's one young lady that also lives here in Novato that's within tenths of qualifying for the Olympic trials. So we're looking to have that stuff happen. And again, I don't mean to dwell too much on the Olympic trial thing, because there's fast and slow and experienced and inexperienced and talented and perhaps less talented folks who are participating, and we just have a really good group of kids that are embracing the ethic of what we're presenting to them, and as we try and challenge them to apply themselves more fully, and really use their swimming as their proving ground to learn how to apply themselves a little bit more, and how to not limit what they think they can accomplish. And so whether you're the most talented kid going to the Olympic trials or you're the kid with the least amount of experience, all those folks are working their hardest to be successful. And I went to UCLA. I'm a big John Wooden advocate, and he always described being successful as reaching your potential. So that's another one of the things we try and keep at the forefront of what we're teaching the kids, is you're trying to reach your potential. You may not have been blessed with the extra 5 inches of height that are necessary for you to swim at the Olympic trial level, but you can go best times. and you can find a collegiate home that is a balance between your academic standing, and swimmers tend to have very high academic standing, and a place that you can also have an athletic experience at college as well. So all those things go into the soup, into the mix.
I see why people come from all over to be on the team. It's an advantage to them to be trained.
Right, right. I mean, I've been doing it for 35 years.
Oh.
And, I started Marin Pirates with 10 swimmers down at Tam High School. And it's grown and grown and grown, and mushroomed up into something that obviously I'm very, very proud of. It's my life's work. But there's a tremendous number of people that have worked with me. We have a dozen coaches right now coaching on the team, and many of them have come through the program and want to give back and enjoyed the experience they have with the Pirates, and they have an inordinate amount of loyalty to the team, and they want to come in and they want to coach. Whether they cobble it together with another job that they have, or they get out of college and they want to spend a couple of years coaching or whatever else. And we have a really good crew of coaches that share this like perspective that we think is really healthy for the kids. And and then it kind of blossomed up into getting bigger and bigger as we had more success, and people who participated on the team spoke well of their experience. And when that happens, then it gets bigger and bigger. And it's difficult for me to say we've had more success because we have the people swimming at nationals and junior nationals and making All-American and doing all those things. And those things are always, those things are important. And especially for kids in school, their peers recognize that language. When a swimmer swims at school, it doesn't translate as well as maybe somebody who's on the football team or the basketball team when they qualify for a certain level of competition. But people understand All-American. People understand that this swimmer made the top 75 or 100 in the United States in their event, and their peers understand that at their schools too. So that part of it is a little bonus, a little extra part that we want them to feel like, and to get recognition, and to have the self-esteem that comes when their peers at school recognize that, hey, they're applying themselves and they're every bit as good, or if not better, than perhaps the traditional sport kids that gain more recognition more easily in their academic community. So
Interesting.
yeah.
I understand that once the kids are older, they can join, or you have other people on the College of Marin team.
Right.
Are there a lot of ages in that?
Yeah, on the College of Marin team, which I've been doing College of Marin, I'm getting ready to start my 33rd season at doing the College of Marin team, and that's a much broader and even more inclusive, team or organization. We get some folks that come directly out of high school, and we get some good fast swimmers, both from USA Swimming, which is the governing body of the sport, which the Marin Pirates are a member of. We get there's a organization in Marin called the Marin Swim League, and we get some swimmers who more of a recreation league or a seasonal league. And we get a good number of folks from that as well. But we also get triathletes that are taking classes at College of Marin and want to be able to be on the swim team and be able to be coached and be able to have improvement in their technique. And I'll see some people in my lap swim classes that I think might be receptive to being able to have a little bit more rigorous training, or might want to be able to learn a little bit more about the sport and get a little bit higher level fitness, or a lot higher level of fitness. So it's it's a very broad continuum of people that participate on the College of Marin team, and it's a nice, with the Marin Pirates having a strong competitive element to it. It's also nice to be able to coach a group that has that more inclusive element to it, where we've had grandmas on the team, and we've got kids fresh out of high school, and everything in between, and everybody improves, and everybody gets a little dose of the same philosophical idea that the value of what you're doing right now is best recognized as your ability to take the sacrifice and the time management and the integrity with which you're bringing to this endeavor, and use it in your next endeavor. Because that's again, when you mentioned that swimming is a means, the kind of our credo on the Marin Pirates team is swimming is a means of a greater end rather than an end unto itself. I don't think no one's too young to realize that, and no one's too old to realize that. It serves everybody. You apply yourself now so that the next thing that you try, you've learned a little bit from the last thing that you tried.
That's very interesting that you have people, mature adults, grandmas, people of all ages on that team.
Right.
And they come from your lap swim class, you said.
Some come directly out of high school. They're going to be matriculating at College of Marin on their way to other schools. Some people will start at another school, and then it won't be their cup of tea. They're spending some time at College of Marin. I grab them, I put them on the team for a year, help them with the same process that I help the Marin Pirates with, which is in terms of helping them, transfer. The transfer thing is College of Marin, and the getting into college with the Marin Pirates. That's a huge component of what I do. Now that I've been coaching for 35 years, I know a great number of college coaches, and I have my finger on the pulse of a lot of different schools and what it takes academically and what it takes athletically to find that good fit for each athlete. And it's pretty cut and dry. It's, what are your grades for high school kids? What are your test scores? And then how fast are you? And all those things put together, the help that I'm hoping for the transfer students at College of Marin and for the Marin Pirates who are graduating from high school and moving on to college is to see how much help I can get these folks in the admissions process, so that if they have their 4.2 GPA, that their swimming pulls them out of the other 4.2 kids, or if they're a 3.8 kid with good test scores, that maybe their swimming stature is such that maybe they can move into a school of higher academic standing than they otherwise would have been able to get into without the component that they're a swimmer and the component where the college coach will assist them in the admissions process. That's a huge part of what I do is help the kids navigate that one little piece of the equation. How can your swimming help you in the admissions process for your college and your university?
Wow, that's quite a help.
Yeah.
Those kids are very lucky.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't always that good at it, but after doing it for a number of years, I can kind of figure it out. I can just ask, what's your grades and what's your test scores, and I know how fast they are, and then I can help them find the place. There's always going to be folks both at College of Marin and on the Marin Pirates where their academic standing outstrips their athletic standing. And that's understandable. The academics comes first. The tail doesn't wag the dog. If a swimmer gets into Stanford and you're not fast enough to swim at Stanford, and Stanford's the best school that you can get into, you go to Stanford and maybe you do club swimming or you join a master's adult team or whatever else. But your competitive days, they may be over. But usually you can find a compatible academic standing and athletic standing match for folks. But sometimes because school comes first, you can't turn down a higher level school and attend a lower level academic school in order to, or at least I don't recommend that they ever do, to facilitate continuing your athletics. It's important and it's a great thing, but if you get the best school you get into, that's the one you should go to.
You're really a help to those kids. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And what about the people from the community who just want to take a swim class at College of Marin?
Sure. There's a lot of swim classes at College of Marin, and in addition to coaching the Marin Pirates, and in addition to doing the College of Marin swimming and diving team, I teach aquatic fitness classes. So we have classes at morning and at lunchtime and in the evening at College of Marin's Indian Valley campus. We also have classes at the Kenfield campus in the morning and at lunchtime. So there's a lot of opportunities for anybody to be able to participate in swimming as a fitness sport. And the main thing that I think that in terms of the College of Marin classes, people oftentimes think that swimming is a sport where you have to put in a lot, you have to grind out a lot of yardage or swim a lot of meters, and certainly you're going to be training. But the biggest part of swimming that allows you to improve is improving your technique. I oftentimes tell folks that swimming is golf with pain. It's technique, technique, technique. And oftentimes people have trouble using swimming as a fitness, as an avenue to improve their fitness, because their technique doesn't support them being able to swim for the requisite time period to improve their fitness. So the biggest thing that I do, and the other instructors at College Marin do, we work on folks, we improve their technique, because a lot of them swim more efficiently and more streamlined, and be able to more readily use swimming as a tool to be able to get in better shape. So it's a great avenue, and it's very reasonably priced at College Marin. It's either a 1-unit or a 2-unit class, and you sign up for it in the same fashion that you would sign up for an English class or a math class. You enroll at College Marin, and you sign up for Kinesiology 155 or Kinesiology 156, and those are the 2 classes that I teach and where the other instructors there teach.
So what is kinesiology?
Well, kinesiology is like the study of, it's a component of exercise and physiology and the body and its movements. So one of the big components, at least in the relatively narrow field of swimming, is I'm trying to teach kinesthetic sense. I'm trying to teach the basic athleticism that surrounds the movements on how to hold onto the water, how to position your body in the water, how to hold your head, how to keep your core engaged, all those elements that are part of being able to swim efficiently, and that kind of falls into the category of kinesiology, the body and its movements.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'd like to talk about the website. If the viewers would like to find out more about the Marin Pirates, they can look at marinpirates.com online. And I want to thank you, Warren, for being on sounding board with us and telling us about the opportunities that the community has and that all the kids have. And I want to thank the Seroptimus crew and our engineer, Leon Johnson, who's helped with the production of Sounding Board greatly. And you can see archived Sounding Board shows on the Seroptimist International of Novato website called seropnovato.org. There are at least 100 of them. And you can also find us on YouTube, Seroptimist International of Novato, all our shows. And I have special thanks for the Buck Institute for letting us use their wonderful facility here. And I want to thank you, the viewers, for being with us.